I'm sure you've heard that when you pray for something, you should pray for it as if it's already yours. Or that when you visualize a goal, you should believe that you already have it. These techniques use the same logic as the law of attraction. The law that says that you manifest into reality the things that you contemplate. Me being the skeptic that I am not willing to accept this law of attraction as true unless I see its logical structure. So here it is. This is natural attainment. Natural attainment is a Deem that helps you see how to obtain your goal. Indeed, it shows you how your goal is already obtained. In a past video, I explained how through Deeming, you create your own reality. This is how you create it so that you could have everything that you could ever want. When you do this, you develop your sight to see the solution to any problem. I discovered this element when I was contemplating how some goals, no matter how much you want them, seem impossible to obtain. So I made this puzzle of the impossible goal and I tried to solve it. How to face impossibility. So here's a puzzle of impossibility. If you can solve this, then nothing is impossible. No goal is impossible for you to achieve. Imagine you've traveled across the universe. You've traveled great distances. You've traveled for many lifetimes, many eons, in search for a great treasure. Now, what treasure is so great for you to spend many lifetimes searching for it? It can only be a most important treasure in all of existence. It can only be a most important thing in life itself. Let's call this treasure, let's say it's the heart of the universe. Your journey has led you to a planet where it is located. You finally reached it. Heart of the universe. Now what? How do you obtain it? How do you make it yours? How do you take it with you and keep it? There's one huge problem though. A problem that makes it impossible to obtain. If you touch it, it gets destroyed, vaporized into nothingness, as if it never existed. You can't touch it. Now let's raise the stakes of this impossibility a little bit. Let's say that this treasure, that it's the only one of its kind in all of existence. Not just the universe, but the infinite number of universes in the omniverse. Not just in all of existence, but throughout all eternity as well, is the only one of its kind. Not just in the present, but there never was another one like it, and there never will be another one like it. If you destroy it, it will be as if it never existed, and your search, your many lifetimes of searching, will be for nothing. So how do you seize it? How do you claim the treasure and take it with you without destroying it? Well, through the principles of Deeming, you will find your solution. Don't pretend like you have it. Realize that you've had it all along. So ask yourself this question. In what ways do you already have it? In what ways have you already obtained your goal? Now, it's been said that it is impossible to touch it without destroying it. So in applying this principle, you want to ask yourself this. In what ways are you already doing the impossible? So number one, in what ways are you already touching it without destroying it? And number two, in what ways do you already own it? In what ways have you already obtained it? Well, what does it mean to obtain something or to own something? What does it mean to seize it? Does it mean that you have it in your hand? Not necessarily. You can have a name and not hold it in your hand, and it's yours nonetheless. Is it the ability to take it with you wherever you go? Is it proximity? No. You can have a home, and no matter how far you are from your home, no matter how far you've traveled from it, it will always be yours. It is very possible to own something and keep it in a distant planet many light years away, and it will still be yours. Maybe this is the case with this treasure. Maybe it's been so long that you don't remember that this is exactly where you left it many lifetimes ago, and now you've come back to it as you were trying to remember. I mean, it would explain how you knew about its possible existence all along. How would you know about it if you've never encountered it? And why would you be looking for it if it was never lost? Now let's go back to the first question and apply the principle to that as well. In what ways are you already doing the impossible? In what ways are you already touching it without destroying it? Well, what constitutes touching? Is it only direct contact with your skin? And if it is, what is it about your skin that qualifies that contact as you being the one touching it? Is it your DNA? And if that's the case, would you be considered the one touching it if you wore gloves or if you replaced your skin with synthetic material? Or what if you establish not to touch it, but the wind that you touch carries your essence, whether it's DNA or some part of your spirit, and touches it with it? Would it be destroyed then? Is it really impossible for it to be touched? Well, let's take the principle and apply it to that as well. In what ways is it already being touched? It's being touched by the atmosphere around it. It's being touched by the ground that it is sitting on. It's being touched by the existence that carries its substance, by the 3 dimensions of space that hold it. This means that if you were the air, if you were the earth, or if you were space, you would be touching it without destroying it. Now ask yourself this: is it impossible for you to become the earth? Is it impossible for you to become the air or to become space itself? In what ways are you already the earth? In what ways are you already the air or space? The air that you breathe out is already part of you. When it's inside of you, you are part air, and when you let it out, it is an extension of you. You can touch it with your breath, and would it be destroyed then? If the earth was an extension of your being, you would already be touching it. Indeed, you are the earth from which you came, and in that sense, you are already touching it. And when you become the earth again, you will truly be holding it. By merely sharing the same existence with it, you already have it. It is already yours. You already own it. The heart of the universe is yours no matter where you are.
So that's natural attainment. It's finding an explanation of how something is already attained, of how a goal is already achieved by its mere nature. There's nothing that you have to do. What you are seeking is already naturally attained. Okay, so what now? How is this supposed to be useful? Is it just supposed to make you feel good?
Yes, and it is more than that. By deeming natural attainment, you'll not only see how the item is already yours, how the goal is already achieved, but it will reveal the privileges that such truth gives you. Yes, it's already yours, and you can keep it here. Yes, you are already touching it, and it isn't being destroyed. And acknowledging these things will allow you to think of ways that you can further mold that truth. In short, it allows you to see the solutions instead of the problems, the possibilities instead of the impossibilities, the freedoms instead of the limitations.
This is why it helps that when you pray for something, you pray for it as if it was already yours. This is where visualization gets its power in trying to manifest a goal. Well, this natural attainment is exactly that. It's visualization, except I've explained its anatomy and its function, so that when it doesn't work, you can detect the malfunction and you can recognize the counterfeit. Again, you can't just pretend that the goal is yours. You have to realize how the goal was yours all along. Also, in trying to visualize a goal being achieved, the power is in the details that you work through in your visualization in order to achieve the goal.